All right, St. Vincent and the Grenadines Cup chat for today, Thursday, the 26th day of January has officially begun. We are in the company of two officers. We have with us this morning Sergeant of Police 444, Kenny Jones, and Sergeant of Police 7, Wendell Corridon. Good morning. Welcome back, gentlemen. Part two.
Yes, good morning to you, Christal. Good morning to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Good morning to all the persons listening in the diaspora. It's a pleasure being here this morning, again, doing part two in relation to traffic-related matters.
Why did he stress on the again? It's a pleasure to have you back. You know, last week was so informational, so informative. Sorry, that's the word I'm looking for. That we had to do a part two immediately following. So it's a pleasure to have you back.
So when it's sweet, you repeat.
Yeah, man, high demand, high demand. All right. So last week we ended with a caller making a complaint about an accident and not being able to get any resolve to it. So an update on that one. Let's start there.
Right. Just my update in respect of the caller from the last program. As I told her that I would have done, I made checks in respect of that motor vehicle collision, and that motor vehicle collision is under investigation by one of our officers at the department. And what I can say is that the scene of that collision would have been revisited since by the officer and the parties involved. Right? And I also want to make mention of the fact that it is not a practice, or it is not accepted, where when someone reports a collision from outside, where the police will tell them to come to the station. Right? It's the police responsibility to respond to that scene and to process that scene and do what is necessary to investigate that motor vehicle collision. So that is a message I would just want to send to the general public as well in relation to collisions on the road.
Okay, so whenever there's a collision, you're supposed to just stay there.
No, I'm saying that the police are supposed to have a responsibility to respond, to go to the scene of the accident.
Oh, right.
And process that scene.
Do you have to, if it is a situation where the drivers could resolve the issue, then and there, do you have to call the police? How does it work when you get into an accident?
Well, we advise persons to report motor vehicle collision. That is what we do. There are cases where persons don't involve the police and they do their settlement. But we, from our standpoint, the message that we generally send to the public is to report collision, because we also need a record in respect of how many collisions, or the stats as to how many collisions is happening on the road or in a particular area, so that we could put whatever things need to be put in place, we could put those things in place to alleviate those collisions as well.
Okay, and while you wait, you don't move the vehicles, you just keep them there.
Well, just to strengthen on that point also, as the Sergeant has just said, is that the law clearly states that you must remain at the accident scene, and two, you must report the accident. That is law. It also states that in the event of injuries where it's concerned, if you are to remove your vehicle from the scene, you must make markings, and you must give to the injured person your name and address, the vehicle number, telephone number, and contact the police within 24 hours at the nearest station. So this accident happened at Back Street. Nearest police station will be Central Police Station. You must contact the traffic department in relation to that accident. Failing to do so, you can be charged.
Right, and I just want to straighten Sergeant Corridon point where he said that this is in law under Section 57 of the Motor Vehicle and Road Traffic Act. It says a person driving or in charge of any vehicle of any description shall, if an accident occurs to any traffic owing to the presence of such vehicle on the road, stop, and if required, give his name and address, and also the name and address of the owner of that vehicle. The person who acts in contravention of this act is guilty of an offense under the act.
Have you ever had cases where people report accidents, but the other party drives off, and then you find out that the person didn't have a license or the vehicle is not insured. Like, how do you get the people or deal with those situations?
Well, we use investigative skills. We have records. We also have the CCTV
Mhm.
systems where we zoom in on those vehicles at accident scene, where vehicles are in the area where these cameras are not located. We have to use our investigative skills. What I must say to motorists, though, if in event that someone struck your vehicle and they did not stop at the scene, please, and it's a challenge for us at the traffic department, pay attention to the registration number and the color of the vehicle. This will help us in terms of locating the other party.
Okay, that's really helpful. Hopefully, you're not in too much of a shock to ignore, and you'll actually remember the right things.
Yes.
All right, so let's move on to the tinting of vehicles. That one is quite an interesting topic or conversation. Whenever you go to get your vehicle inspected, sometimes vehicle owners have to remove the tint, even though it might be not as dark as the rest of the vehicle. So tell us what the law says about tinting of vehicles, where, what, how, when, and when not.
Well, Christal, I'm going to refer you to the Motor Vehicle Road Traffic Act because the police act in confines with the law,
Mhm.
right? And the Motor Vehicle Road Traffic Act, where the motor vehicle inspectors who act basically on behalf of the Commissioner of Police, right? Under the Act, that's Section 20. It says that the inspector shall examine such motor vehicle, Section 20, subsection 2. He shall examine such vehicle, and if satisfied that it complies with the provisions of this Act, of these regulations, and on payment of the prescribed fee, shall issue a certificate containing such particulars or specified in Form 6 in the first schedule, and no license for such vehicle shall be issued or renewed unless the inspector certifies that that vehicle complies with the provisions of the Act. That is the authority that the motor vehicle inspectors have, right? And in reference to the tint, once you go to the inspection site, one of the challenges that we have now on the streets of Simpson Grand is where the license for this motor vehicle that should be affixed to the front of the vehicle in an upright position and should be clearly visible, as the law says, should be clearly visible from the front. Once you see this vehicle, you should see the license sticker. Once you go to the garage and an inspection is done, and the motor vehicle inspector has that challenge, they will ask you to remove whatever is obscuring the view from seeing that license sticker, so that it could be clearly visible.
So that's based on discretion, really.
Right. Also under regulation, that's 26.2. And maybe could show you a photo as well, what it looks like driving on the road at night with a vehicle with its entire front glass tinted. It's almost like if there's no electricity outside. It's really dark.
You have a picture
I
there
have a photo
in your
on
phone.
my phone.
So you're going to show that to me.
So I could show that to you.
Okay. but there are different grades of tinting, right? There's the really dark, and then it comes down to really light. And most often not, or let me not say most, some people use tinting to prevent the extra light, the sunlight or the beams from other vehicles at night. So what if at inspection, the inspector says, okay, this is okay. And then when he goes on the road after getting that certificate and everything is nice and dandy, he goes on the road and another officer says, that is too dark, you have to take it off. Then what? Or the next time he goes for an inspection the following year, he's told that he has to take it
Well,
off.
any police have officer has the authority at any time to call up any vehicle for inspection. any police officer at any time. So if for some reason you leave the garage with your vehicle being inspected and the officer on duty around Kingston observes something irregular about your vehicle, the officer could bring that motor vehicle to the station to be inspected, right? And we could summon someone from the garage to verify or to carry out a further inspection on that vehicle, just to verify what you, the driver, might be saying.
That I got my certificate from another officer. And the
No,
inspection.
because, Christal, you might go to the garage at 10 a.m. in the morning with your vehicle windshield not tinted, because that's the topic right now.
Oh.
Right.
Okay.
You have LED lights, or you have additional lights on your vehicle. But you remove those lights, pass your inspection, and as you go around the corner, the mechanic shop, you replace them. Drive into Kingston, and here comes Sergeant Jones or Sergeant Corridon in town.
Gotta look out.
Yes. So we have the authority to take that vehicle into custody and do an inspection on it once more, because it happens.
Mhm.
Persons will regularize their vehicle.
A call is coming through. Hello, good morning. Actually, I said one time. Hello, good morning. Welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. Gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
I'm glad I had the chance to ask this question on air because there's a call to the officer to go there and run me. Plain straight. How could we have bikes and cars, and we're talking traffic, with mufflers something like AR-50, machine gun?
That's the question, caller.
The exhaust, the party, all 1 o'clock in the morning, you're doing a poor travel or something, you think it's fun, you lay down on the ground. I mean, I understand that at all. There are cars and bikes that sound like machine gun. I mean, they're passing up and down all the time. They're frightening people outside. I just wanted to know what's going on there. But if you're saying things like that, listen to yourself there. Because it's crazy.
All right. Thank you so much.
Okay. Under Regulation 28, it says that any vehicle that carries any loud noise that is disturbing to the public, they are guilty of an offense. We at the traffic department has been clamping down on these motorcycles. Once most persons would want to remove the silencer from the muffler, and it makes a loud noise in the communities around Kingston and throughout St. Vincent. We have been clamping down on these motorcycles, the race cars, the private vehicles also. Remove the silencer. They put now what you call a straight pipe.
Getting very technical here.
Yes. It's where they remove the barrel and just extend the muffler. So the noise coming from these vehicles
It's louder.
is louder. So we at the traffic department has been clamping down for years now.
Yeah.
However, most persons will try to use those vehicles when the police is not on the road. But I'm saying to the public, if you're out there, you see a vehicle with those color.
Go ahead. Yes. Okay, so stick a point in the encouragement there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Christal, to you and your very special guest.
Good morning to you, sir.
Same to you, sir.
The what you call the silencers is I think the correct term for that is muffle.
Yes,
and the motorcyclists when they remove that muffle, they get so much more speed.
Yes.
Anyway, I want to tell you guys that I listen to y'all all morning. The traffic talk. And I hear sometimes you always say, well, we had one accident in the last 24 hours, or maybe two in the last 24 hours. I want to know if that is just in the Kingston area or if that is island-wide.
Well, that would vary because of the officer. Sometimes the officer might report for Kingston area only, though we try to make it in a manner where everybody sings from the same song sheet. But some police officers might report from Kingston area only. Some might report from the island wide.
Oh, but I just want to add by saying this, that if you only have one accident or two or three, the very most, island wide in a 24-hour period, that is brilliant. Because in Barbados, you got 8 to 10 accidents an hour.
1 hour.
Wow.
And BIM is bigger
They're
than
just,
us.
they're just very careless drivers, I must tell you.
And you get some serious accidents as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is so true.
Yeah.
That is so true. Like last week, a fellow was killed, and he didn't have to die that way. He was driving a wrecker. I went to pick up a vehicle, and a man came around the corner lawlessly around the fella into the vehicle that he was picking up. The other ramp him into the wrecker, and he died right there on the spot. And that was a waste. That was a useless death. So I just want to say that, you know, I listen to you guys in the morning, and I admire the advice that you all would normally give. But more importantly, I like the idea of only 1 or 2 accidents, and at the very most, a nice break.
It's comforting.
Yes.
It's on all
Sometimes
comfort.
3 accidents. That is
Okay.
good.
Yes.
Anyway, Christal, you have a good morning.
Same to
Morning
you.
to Kingsley, morning to Anita.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Take care. All right. So the advice to persons who hear or
Right.
see what you hear
Right.
happening.
Right. So persons who are being disturbed with these loud mufflers around their communities, I'm asking persons to capture the vehicle number. Or even you might have a sticker on most of these vehicles, or you might see a black bike most of the time coming to your area. Make note of these information. Contact us at Traffic Department at 457-1211. Ask for extension at Traffic, and let's come out in our numbers. Let's come out and make you sleep in peace at the truck.
Yeah. What might be a challenge there is, as the gentleman who called earlier said, he's in his porch and all he doing is hearing, and he dropping cover and rolling thing. So he can't really see. That might be a challenge, especially if they come out at nighttime like some owls.
You know,
So you just hear them.
one of the places where we have had a lot of reports and respect of noisy motor vehicles has been on the island of Beckwith, in particular the motorcycles. Yeah, and at times we would have sent or would have actually gone there to try and clamp down on these noisy motorcycles, right? It has been a challenge. It has been a challenge sometimes because
You can't catch them.
motorcyclists most of the times don't want to stop when the police stop them, right? So that has been the challenge sometimes, and they usually would pick odd hours during the night to try and use these motorcycles or these noisy vehicles when they think that there might not be a great presence of the police during the time. So that is our challenge sometimes, but we are very much aware of what is happening on the mainland, also in these other islands. And we try as much as possible to utilize our resource, and we as well for this year we're going to go into these stations in the out district, and just bring them up to speed as in regards to the traffic regulations, so they could have a better hand on these offenses when they see them happening within their district.
Okay. All right. So that's that. The time is now 8:27. Let's take a break at this time, pay some bills. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. Let's take this call before. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Christal. How are you?
I'm well. What's up?
Okay, I'm listening. In reference to the noise that the cars make, the gentleman from Barbados give a name for the part that is removed. I just want to share some light on that.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually called the catalyst converter.
We got 3 different names now.
Yes, that's the correct name for it, the catalyst converter. I'm telling you because I've studied mechanic in New York here. What happens is that when in combustion, the valves, the intake valves, when it open and it's begin to close and the exhaust valve open, there are unborn gas that escapes through the exhaust system and it goes down into the pipeline, the exhaust pipeline. So in order for diminish emission, they make the converter. There's a bedding in there, like a thick. If the best thing to describe it is. So the unborn gas gets born in there, in that area. So you get less emission come out and the atmosphere is less polluted. That's the purpose of it. So I want the officers them to know that it's a serious thing. And then when people remove those things, they release more emission in the air and it's detrimental more to the people of St. Vincent and Grenadines. That's one thing. The other thing is I have a question. If I'm from Kingston and I have the police barracks number and I have an accident in Georgetown away from the police station in Georgetown, how do I get in touch with the police? Shouldn't there be a one central number that you can call and reach any of the you have a operator in one area and they can dispatch the police in the various areas?
Yes, that same number that I just called out is 457-1211. That's the operator's number, and he will dispatch you in any station that you want to go.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, but just think about that that issue that I said with the vehicle is something for you guys to look at carefully because it needs as much as we can diminish the emission is very good for the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I listen off here for the rest. Bye bye.
All right. Thank you so much. Some comments coming in there on the WhatsApp, but we'll get to those when we come back and we'll take some more calls. If you have questions about traffic, Sergeant Corridon and Sergeant Jones are in studio with us this morning. All right. Let's take a break.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines, it's a whole new world out there. Reaching new customers and getting products faster. That's what it's all about. Ocean freight rates are skyrocketing, so don't pay more for slower service. It's time to switch to faster, more reliable air cargo service with SkyMax Cargo. Up to 3 flights weekly to and from the USA, Puerto Rico, and the Caribbean islands. Providing excellent import, export, and e-commerce solutions to put you ahead of the competition. For special low rates on small packages and air cargo, contact SkyMax today. 784-456-5400. Local agents SwiftPack Interprime Cargo. Call 784-456-5400 to book your shipments today.
Let's get your laundry clean and fresh with the widest range of washing machines and dryers in SVG. At Singer, choose between our West Point and Speed Queen brands with an array of washing machines with payments starting as low as $92 per month. Your laundry room wouldn't be complete without a Whirlpool or Speed Queen electric or gas-operated dryer, saving your energy consumption. Also in stock is our West Point washer dryer combo for only $136 per month. One machine that does the work of 2. No need to change machines. Just toss in your laundry and forget about it. Whether your preference in machines is top loading or front loading, whether you want a 9 kilogram or a larger 15 kilogram washer, whether you're looking for a gas or electric dryer, we've got it all at Singer. Visit us today and get the washing machine and dryer that's perfect for you. Singer, your family company.
Welcome back, and you're listening to 88.2 FM The Sound. We're talking about service excellence in the tourism industry. Let's take a caller.
Good morning. I'm Jackie from this agent at Holiday Villa Hotel for the past 25 years.
25 years. Great. So, Jackie, tell us, what makes an excellent front desk agent?
I love my job. As a service provider, I'm always polite to customers. I'm very helpful and I smile a lot. You know, visitors as well as locals feel very welcome when you treat them with respect and concern for their welfare.
Very true. We all need to look at it that way.
Yes, you see, tourism is everyone's business. You've got to live it, love it, embrace it.
Tourism is for me. Tourism is for you. Tourism is everyone's business. love it, embrace it.
Introducing a new look for our award-winning Hyroon beer. The new Hyroon label, bottled and brewed in the gem of the Angeles, captures our radiant Vincentian sunshine framed in gold. It dives into the glistening deep indigo Caribbean waters and reflects waves crawling gently to the shores of our black sands with a rhythmic pulse meeting our lush emerald green vegetation. The new logo fuses with the arch, a symbol of strength and support, a perfect representation of the City of Arches. It features the SVG diamond formation, perfectly blended with hops and barley, which gives Hyroon its distinct notes, aromas, and flavors. A crisp taste, enjoyed from fancy to the grenadines. This new label celebrates the prize-winning superiority of our brew and represents the passion behind Hyroon beer, brewed by Vincentians for Vincentians. Hyroon beer, available at all supermarkets, depots, bars, and restaurants. Must be age 18 years and over to enjoy.
The Basil's Charles Foundation presents Blues Fest 2023, live at Basil at Villa on Friday, February 3rd at 8 p.m., featuring international artists Ian Berry, Elizabeth Neal, Johnny C. Smith, Jeffrey Walker, Daniel Robinoftis, Peter O'Brien, Matthew Jest, Kenneth Spruill, and Morley Coryell. Tickets on sale now at the bar in Kingstown. Sponsored by WeFM, Couriers Distribution Limited, Irie Travel, St. Vincent Brew Limited, and Gonsalves Liquors.
WEFM 99.9.
All right, welcome back. We FM 99.9, the clean fresh sound. By the way, we are live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you want to view us live to see what we're wearing and our facial expressions, you could hop on over. And if you have to come out of your vehicles, you can continue listening and watching us. All right. Thank you for those who have joined online. Now, here's a comment coming in on the WhatsApp. The WhatsApp number is 457-9994. If you want to call us, 457-9997. Somebody said, oh no, this is the wrong one because this is birthday greetings. No, it's not time for that. All right. Good morning. An accident happened in Annisville last month. One of the drivers moved his vehicle without marking his wheels. He said was up to the traffic or vehicle to pass. How do you deal with this situation? So there's an accident, you're called, but the driver moved the vehicle because vehicles had to pass, other vehicles had to pass.
Okay. I must applaud him for removing his vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
But I must say to him that next time he must mark the wheels of that vehicle before removing the vehicle out of the road. Because one, it hampers us at the traffic department to ascertain the point of impact for that accident. Also, we have other ways to ascertain the point of impact, so it may not really hamper us.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, braking pressure. The braking pressure normally leads towards the point of impact. Debris on the road, broken glass, broken light, where these are ideas that, and I see Christal making note of some. I wonder if she wants to tamper with an accident in the future.
Oh, no. But I do that to get in trouble? That's the last thing I want to do. But I just made note of one word that you mentioned there. If we have time, I'll bring back that word at the end. If we have time at the end, I'll bring it back. All right. So we've touched on accidents. We've touched on tinting, LED lights. Oh, you have something else?
Yeah, because we had actually skipped out the that's regulation 26.2, where it says he shall not, when on the motor vehicle, be in such a position, right, where he should not have the full view of the road and the traffic ahead, while in that motor vehicle. So it's just to touch on go back on the issue of the
Tinting.
tinting, and I could also show you the photo as to what it looks like
Let me see one.
behind.
But if I could see, do you sit?
This is what it looks like.
Do you sit in the vehicles and look
I'm
out?
actually sitting in that vehicle there.
What's that mean? Is this your vehicle?
No, that's not my vehicle.
Oh, okay. Okay, because you'll be liable for an offense officer.
Yes, I would have difficulty seeing where I'm going if I was.
But then here's another thing: the tinting for those who are allowed to have light tinting on their vehicles, the inspection is done during the day. What if during the night it's the difficulty increases? So during the night you actually can't see that well, as opposed to when inspection is done during the day. But that's somebody who passed inspection and would not be pulled over in the road during the day when the traffic officers are on. Then that's one of those who kind of slip through the cracks. No?
No, well, I would advise persons because you're not gonna drive your vehicle during the day alone. At some point during the night, as you said, you're gonna have to use the vehicle. And if it is a challenge during the night, then and the law is saying that you should have full view. You should be able to pick up anything on the road during the night while you're driving as well. It means that you are not in keeping with the regulation, and that thing should be removed. I've heard persons say, I'm going to remove mine because it poses some challenge for me. I'm going to remove mine because when it rains, it makes it more difficult for me to see what is happening on the road. Understand? So we want to advise persons not to tint the entire windscreen of their motor vehicle. Because sooner or later, they're going to have to remove the tints from those vehicles.
Are you saying that there's a law coming that says no tint at all?
That's correct.
What?
Well,
some people are not going to be happy.
Christal, I know you're the one asking the question, but I just want to ask you a question now.
Oh, boy.
You have looked at that photo that Sergeant has shown you.
Uh-huh.
Just imagine going to Belmont in that condition and there's fog.
First of all, I ain't driving through Belmont nowhere. But okay, in all honesty, driving at nighttime is rather difficult for me personally, because vehicles tend to drive in the opposite direction on high beam, and some of them have really bright lights. And that's going to take us right into the next topic: LED lights. And the bright lights and the blue lights, because I see on, let me be honest, some of those buy and sell groups, people are selling things to cover tinting for the lights for the front of the vehicle. I don't know what they're called because that's not my area of expertise, but the main lights for the vehicle, they sell tinting for that. So let's talk about what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Okay, under 21, section 21. Not section, sorry, regulation 21. It speaks about what is required of every driver in terms of the condition of a vehicle. It goes on to regulation subsection 10, where, see, we have a call.
No, go ahead.
So we under regulations, subsection 10, it says that your vehicle should have 2 headlights and 2 side lights. Side lights meaning the 2 park lights. So you have 2 park lights, you have 2 headlights. Persons have now to the front of the vehicle fog lights. They have the LED lights, little LED lights that they put in the grill. They have now, what I'm seeing now, there's about 16 inches, 12 to 16 inches width of LED lights in the middle of the vehicle now.
Yeah, in the front there.
Towards you. And that is very bright, and it damages persons' eyes coming towards you. I have been witness to this, where I've been traveling on the road and I have to come to a dead stop because the light is so bright coming towards me. The only option for my safety is to stop. So I'm saying, what if someone decides to continue with the eyes closed? They might off the road or into your vehicle that is endangering persons with these lights. I'm saying to the public, please, this is from adding these lights to your vehicle. It also go on and said about colored rays. So your lights should not have any colors coming from the ray of your vehicle. So you will want to put this colored, there's a colored tint that you put on your vehicle. And it
Like
look as
blue.
if there's a rainbow, or it might be a blue.
Oh, rainbow in the night?
Yes.
What sense does that make?
You understand?
Okay.
And they have gone so far to put a red light to the front of the vehicle, Christal. This is the part that really bothers me. Why would you want to put a red light to the front of your vehicle when a red light is supposed to be to the back of your vehicle? So I'm driving towards you and I'm seeing a red light. I might be thinking it's the back of the vehicle I'm coming, and I'm traveling behind of you, not knowing we are going into a head-on collision because you're coming towards me with a red light.
Maybe they want to look like Christmas trees on the road. Maybe that's the point.
Well,
but I mean, I'm pretty sure that there are provisions for people to be flashy and creative with their vehicles without. No?
Well,
Look at me.
There's car shows.
So you mean
you could go to the car show with your vehicle with your red lights and the pretty lights and all that. But when you come out of the park, make sure you take them
take it off.
Because the traffic department is out in the numbers. And we are seeing that, well, we have been preaching this from years before, but we are seeing this year that it's a no-no. No colored rays to the front of your vehicle, no additional lights to the front of your vehicle, no LED lights to the front of your vehicle. We are making our road safe. I've heard my Bajan friend said that we are doing so well in the accident count and we want to drop our accident count lower even.
Yeah. I'd also like to see the annoyance count drop too, because it's annoying to be driving and have those. But you see okay, let me take the call and then. Hello, good morning, welcome.
Morning, Christal. Morning, gentlemen.
Hi, haven't heard you for a minute. What's up?
I got.
Okay, that's good.
I am looking at these new hybrid and electric vehicles coming with running daytime lights. Would you be allowed to bring in one of those vehicles into St. Vincent? Officers, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes, those lights are the LED strips that
right at the top of the headlamp.
Building in the headlamp.
Right.
We don't have a problem with that for some because that they are not that bright and they are mostly used just to
the countries with their fog and so.
That's correct.
Right. I was just wondering because I see them advertising these days with these running daylights. All right, man. All the best.
All right. Thank you so much.
Hi, Christal.
Hi. All right. Have a good one. All right. So, as I was saying, it is annoying to be driving at night and to have vehicles coming towards you, and you have to stop while you are being inconvenienced. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but you're the one who's being inconvenienced. Now, the trouble I see with that is if I want to report that individual, I could report him or her.
Yes, you can.
Right? Okay. But if I can't see them, then what?
Yeah.
What do? I turn around and run behind them and try to get the license plate?
And they can be prosecuted for driving without reasonable consideration. It says once there's an oncoming vehicle on the road at night, you should dim your lights.
Right.
You're supposed to dim your lights. Understand? And it has been a challenge where I myself had to pull aside and stop just to catch my vision before I move again. Because sometimes you come around a car and the light just hits you like one time. I want to advise persons, to try as much as possible not to. Okay, if you could dim your lights, please.
Yeah.
Dim your lights. It makes the oncoming driver put the oncoming driver in a better position to see where they're going. Times persons actually would pull off the road, end up in a drain because these lights are so bright. We want to avoid those unnecessary collisions on the road when it comes to these lights. Also, I'm just going to touch on and strengthen the point that Sergeant Corridon made, right, on the regulation 21D. It says no spotlights or other similar swiveling lights shall be carried on any motor vehicle without the authority of the licensing authority, who is the Commissioner of Police. So Sergeant Corridon mentioned our car shows. If there's a car show, well, then like you're gonna have to apply to the Commissioner of Police, who would give you the approval, and all these things would be mentioned in respect of your lights if you have to put on any fancy light. But outside the scope of that, once you don't have the permission from the Commissioner of Police to add any such lights on your motor vehicle, you would be in breach of the motor vehicle and road traffic regulation.
Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that you had to apply for permission if you want to get all fancy for your car shows.
Yes.
Oh, well, we learn something new every day.
Even when they
don't
have
we?
the visitors here during the Independence, they would have their car shows and their
Yeah, some of them will come like
and their
that.
song laugh and stuff like that. They will have to. The association usually write to the Commissioner of Police so that they could have these activities.
As we mentioned, sound off. Oh, the loud music in some of these vehicles. You have made the appeal over and over again. Turn it down, it shouldn't be so loud. Why do you have all these amps and all these fancy things in your vehicles when it's really not so necessary, especially for public transport? However, the problem still persists. We know it's against the law. But how do we rectify it and deal with it as a society?
Okay, well.
It's Ireland. Oh, yeah.
I am. That little pause tells you how I'm tired of this.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Me fed up too. Yeah.
Right. So I'm asking the public to partner with us. I mean, the officers are out. We are doing the best we can. We will not be here, there, and everywhere. I'm asking the public, and I'm saying the public, I'm saying the macho public, because the younger folks seems like they want this music loud, and
you should see them in some of the buses.
You tell me about it. Yes, and at times they will argue with the police and all.
Yes.
Why you leave?
Yeah, we're enjoying ourselves.
Right. So I'm asking the public to, if they encounter any vehicle with any music that are disturbing to them, contact us at the traffic department. As I say again, mark the number, mark the graphic on the vehicle, mark the color of the vehicle. Let us know time, place, and date, and we will take it from there. We will take it from there.
You know, I like to read the act.
You like to
read what the law says.
Read what the law says.
In respect of, and it speaks about the prohibition of noise instruments in motor vehicle. It says no musical instrument shall be played, and no noisy instrument or loudspeaker shall be played or operated in any motor vehicle in any public place, except on written permission from the Commissioner of Police, and subject to any conditions entered thereon by him. And any person who plays or operates any such instrument or loudspeaker in contravention of this regulation, and the driver of the vehicle who permits such instrument or loudspeaker to be played is guilty of an offense against this regulation and liable to a fine not less than $250 and not more than $2,000 and to imprisonment for 3 months.
Oh. I could go to jail for playing loud music.
That is what this act is saying.
But do people actually get charged for it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think last week in traffic court alone, we had almost 20 plus matters.
And let me guess.
Being charged came before the court for playing musical instruments.
Yeah, let me guess. They're gonna come, they're gonna pay, and then they're gonna go back on the road and turn it back up. Anyways, more money for you guys. So
that is the challenge. That is the challenge. That is the challenge that we have, because we have been having constant complaints year in, year out now in respect of the noise from schools, from persons who trying to do their business in offices, doctors. The impact that there is left with when you're inside of a building. Understand me?
Yeah.
And
It takes me back to when I was in college. You're trying to know the year. I know that. But I remember that being an issue every single day or every week. It being an issue. Vans coming up, the music so loud. You in class, you trying to learn some A squared plus B squared equals C squared and the music outside. But after a while, it was rectified. A call is coming in. Hello, good morning.
Hello,
Hello.
am I live on FM?
Yes, you are. Welcome to Cop
Right.
Chat.
Right. And just I want to inform the sergeants who are there that I notice when police officers are at the point duties, vehicle pass with the loud music and the police allowing them to pass without saying anything to you. But what happened yesterday? I saw a woman police standing by Singer and further down by Building Alone, stop some cars and minibus and things, stop the music, and I felt that was very commendable. I haven't seen that in a long time. So I think Sergeant Jones knows who is speaking, and I just want to be publicly congratulate those two particular police who did a very good job yesterday, in my opinion. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Maybe we need more female traffic officers.
I must applaud them for the job well done also. Christal, just to elaborate on Sergeant's point, under the Noise Act, where it spells out what is a musical instrument. Even a guitar, you could be playing a guitar in the vehicle. It is a musical instrument. But also say, one might want to debate the point that, well, I don't have an instrument, I have a deck. It also goes to a radio receiver under the Noise Act. Tells you that a radio receiver is a musical instrument. So then the other argument you might say is, I'm not playing amplified music. But once that deck is on, once that deck is on, and you don't have permission from the licensing authority, which is the commissioner, you are guilty of an offense. However, if you're taken to the court and the court happens to decide to take your music system from you, it can be done. Because under the Noise Act, they give the court that permission.
Yeah.
And they give that authority to the court to seize the musical instrument. So I believe before long that might happen.
Oh, especially if you keep coming back and back over
I
and
want
over.
persons to comply with this
Yeah.
piece of regulation. I mean, even passengers, elderly persons who have been traveling on the omnibuses in particular, have had to get off the bus because they asked the driver or the conductor. And the conductors in particular, these are the ones who have the remote most of the times, turning the music up. But we want the drivers to know that they are in charge of the bus. And when the police stop that motor vehicle, they are the one who would be liable for prosecution. So they need to take charge of their omnibuses and the private owners as well who operate or play their music need to adhere to this regulation.
I think up to 2-3 weeks ago, very recently, I think it was this year, I entered a bus. I mean, from the outside, it didn't sound that loud. But when you get in and the doors closed, and I had my son with me, and asked if they could turn it down just a little bit, because it's a bit loud. And the conductor was a bit hesitant. And I could see like him rolling his eyes from the corner of my eyes. I see him rolling his eyes and giving off slight attitude. So sometimes that happens. The conductors will get upset when you ask them to turn down the music because in their minds, oh, you come in my bus, you should know beforehand. Don't come in if you don't want to hear the loud music. Challenges on a day-to-day basis. A question coming in here for Sergeant Corridon. Says, I heard him mention on radio, and we have 2 minutes, by the way, last week, that if a motor vehicle driver splashes or wets you down, while you're on the road walking, the driver commits an offense and could be charged. He wants to know, or she wants to know, where in the Police Act or Regulation Cap it says that.
It's under the charge for driving with reasonable consideration for other road users.
So it's one of those things that's understood, or okay. So you can go ahead and
under section 42, any person who drives a motor vehicle on a road without due care and attention or without reasonable consideration for other road users on a road is guilty of an offense and liable to a fine of $1,500 and to a disqualification from holding or obtaining a driving permit for a period as the court see fit.
Okay. All right. Understood. I hope that clears things up for the listener there. We're out of time. We have 5 seconds on to 9 o'clock. I want to say thank you so much for joining us this morning, Sergeant Jones and Sergeant Corridon, and all the best. Any final words?
Thank you for having us as well, Christal.
Again, you forget the again.
Again, Christal, it's always a pleasure enlightening the public in respect of traffic. It's a very broad topic, and we're always willing to come and impart our knowledge and educate the public and let them know things that they should know in regards to what is happening on the street. Just want everybody to be safe. It's still a new year. We want to advise motorists to adhere to the traffic rules and regulation, and let us work together to make the streets of St. Vincent and Grenadines a safer place.
You have committed to another. You hear what he said? It's a broad topic. You hear that? You hear that? Caroline, final words.
Right. I must say thanks again to Christian and management of WFM for having us here to enlighten our public. We at the traffic department, we are one of our mandate for 2023 is to educate the public as much as we can, and we seize this opportunity to do so.
Okay.
So, as I say once more to the public, partner with us. Any irregularities, contact us at 457-1211, and we will take it from there.
All right. Thank you so much. And that was Traffic Talk for today. We said thank you so much for listening, and thanks to the RSVGPF for making it a possibility right here on WFM 99.9. 9:01 is the time. We're going to head straight into the ECCB bank rates for today. I didn't click